Hey there, friend. How are you doing today? I hope you're having an absolutely amazing day. So, today we're going to talk a little bit about restoring balance and just some practical steps to a stress free holiday. Because when Halloween comes, it is full speed ahead. It is on, okay? And sometimes it can have us feel overwhelmed with expectations, commitments, and just the pressure to keep everything perfect. There is that word again. Perfect. Okay, so we're just going to let that go, throw it out the window, and do all of the things, right? Because that thing can just get in the way, right? And just we want to relax. Just let stress go, let anxiety go. And one way to do that is just to forget about the perfect stuff right now. Let's just enjoy ourselves, okay? And so just restoring balance and prioritizing our mental well-being during this busy season, okay? Because that's a lot of times what it turns out to be. It's all of love, but sometimes we can just take on a lot of things, right? And we want it to be joyful, right? And so, when you think about work-life balance with family, friends, that personal life, and then just your career and just your business and everything on top of it. And then you put the stressors of the holidays, it can get to be a lot, right? And just like that, out the blue, you could just be going about your day. And as you just take a step back, and you're like, wait a minute, how did I get here? And that's okay. We're going to just talk about some simple little strategies, some simple tips just to get you going. And then on top of that, it is National Depression Education and Awareness Month. So this is the perfect time. So you see, I did it. I put perfect in there. But at this point, it's okay because this is going in alignment with the holidays, the Awareness Month, and all the things. So it is key. It's a good time to talk about, and let's bring this up now because it's the holidays and it can help us go into a more healthier and more balanced way. And this is what we want, right? Yes. All right. Because I know for myself, even a few years ago, I found myself trying to do everything through the holidays, right? Like cooking, planning, organizing, just like all these things. I don't know. I guess I was going through a Wonder Woman thing, right? Don't you miss Wonder Woman? So good, right? But at the end of the day, not real, right? So we have to give ourselves grace, okay? Yes. And so I just realized for myself, I needed to change stuff. I needed to do better. I needed to find a better way to prioritize my well-being. So, I obviously dealt with burnout in my past as well. And so one of the reasons I'm so passionate, right? Because everything affects everything. It's just not one little bracket. You're not just worrying about one thing. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And so this is how our body works as well. It's not just one thing, right, going on within you. If there's one condition, you better believe something else is on the way. So we want to nip it in the bud, okay? So let's dive into some of this stuff, okay? And so one thing, setting boundaries, okay? I talk about this because I believe in it so much. Ladies, it's okay. Sis, look, you can say no, right? Setting boundaries with family and friends about what you can realistically handle and allow that and stick to it. Even if somebody comes at you, just knowing, look, that's better than just blowing up at somebody because you know what can happen. You ever just like held on to something and then out of nowhere you just like bam and you just started blowing up at them. And so ideally having these boundaries in place, being able to communicate, setting up a space, being like, hey, because if somebody comes at you a certain way, you automatically will get defensive. And so then there's no real conversation that's possibly taking place at that time because everybody's just trying to be heard. Everybody just wants there to be right in whatever the situation is. And ideally, we can just sit down and be able to communicate. And it's easier, right, to do that whenever we're not in a heightened state, right? Think about that. So it's much easier for you to have those boundaries in place. I'm like, this is what I need, right? This is what I need for me and my well-being in this moment. And allow that to be true for you, knowing what that is and stick to it, okay? It's not about hurting anyone's feelings, but respecting your own, okay? Respect your own feelings, your own emotions, Because in order for you to get to that place, or for you to feel that joy within yourself so that you can feel good, you have to be able to do that for yourself, right? And so making sure you carve out that time for yourself, okay? Whether it's 10 minutes of some kind of meditation, some kind of yoga, or just simply just reading a book, right? I know you probably have a book on your shelf that you haven't opened up yet, or maybe just continue on that last chapter. Giving yourself that self time, right? That time for yourself, that self-care, right? And then whenever you do have that daily routine that you have set up, it will be more accessible to you whenever something does arise. Like even if a memory comes up, and especially around the holidays, right? Shifting your mindset, okay? Instead of I need to do it all, or I need to do, I need to do everything, all the things, that all or nothing mindset. Do what feels right for you in the moment. That goes back to listening, right? Because remember, the holidays are meant to be enjoyed. And you might need to just take a moment sometimes. You might need to excuse yourself and go into another room if you're feeling overwhelmed. Be like, excuse me, I need a moment. Do what you need to do for yourself. You might need to take a 10-minute meditation, right? Sit in there for 15 minutes. You might need to be like, I need somebody to talk to right quick, or take a walk. Because sometimes situations can get intense, okay? And just adopting that balanced, mindful approach. It's going to help you feel more at peace, allow you to appreciate the season, because it's about being grateful, right? So finding what that is. Being grateful to yourself for showing up for yourself, okay? Now that's wonderful. Because different emotions can hit at any time. They can. And then just reflecting, taking some breaths, asking yourself, did I set healthy boundaries? Without judgment. Did you? And if something happened, reflect on that. Why didn't I? Gotta get curious with yourself. Be like, where's this coming from, right? What was I thinking? How did I feel in that moment? Write it out. Man, write it out. Talk to someone, Was I able to take my time for my self-care? Did I? How did I feel emotionally when all this was happening today? Yeah. So before the holiday season, take 15 minutes. Not a lot of time. 15 minutes, that goes by like that. Like a snap. Define and stick to it. What are your personal boundaries for these next few weeks, this quarter we're in? Ooh, it's over, man. What 1 or 2 self-care activities are you going to do? What's a simple, nourishing meal that you're going to partake in? These are wonderful questions for you. Think on it. Give it to yourself. Give yourself the time. Okay? Until next time.